Guess who's back? Hi, how are you? Oh my goodness me. Thank you so much for choosing yet again to hang out with me. I appreciate it. Did you have a good weekend? Did you? Yeah, you look like you do. You did your hair. It looks nice. Sasa Caro. Sasa Jennifer. Sasa. I used to live someplace in Nairobi West, and this caretaker stroke security guard would say to everybody like that. He'd be like, Tata Bondi. Nyaje kevo, Tata. And they know everything about everyone, these guys. They'll be like, pana, huyu ni Quinto wa number 8. Wachana na huyu wa Makelele Karo, huyu wa Ayub. Hao wanakuwaga wa nduru. Ikifika saa 5, nduru, nduru, nduru. Mi nasema Quinta, huyu mwenye ako na mimba ya Mokorino. Huyo Quinta huyo. You're busy being referred to as Madam Quinta in the office, do you want to sign this consignment? And then your caretaker just reduces you to mtu alipewa mimba na mokorino. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If it's your first time, please feel at home. Eric's Stories is about you and I having conversations in the hope to just try and get better together. All right, so feel at home. If somebody tagged you, say hi to them. Share your mind with me on the comment section. I'm also on YouTube and on Twitter and on Instagram right here. So yeah, I've been thinking about in the quest to become better. Now, how this started, just to keep you up to speed, I just decided out of romantic relationships. And I decided to very intentionally work on myself because I was dishing out a lot of things that I would not want dished to me, from my character traits to my behavior to my even weight, all those things. So I sat down and decided, look, how much of me is really that deficit? How much of me is a liability and how much of me is an asset? And then when the books want balancing, I decided to come off, try work on myself, and then God permitting, when I go back, I will be good for somebody and a blessing and not a curse, or an asset and not a liability. So in my thinking, I've been thinking about my past relationships just in the quest to get better. And I was thinking about ways in which we argue, or I used to argue. You know, they say arguments are inevitable in a relationship. Matter of fact, most people report, psychologists report that a relationship that doesn't have any argument at all would be a sign of an unhealthy relationship, disconnectedness, and just generally unhappiness in a relationship. So that arguments are healthy. But that being said, surely there must be ways that we can argue in a more productive, healthier way, in the state of arguing in an unhealthy way. That's what I want us to talk about. So, more damaging behaviors to avoid during an argument. That's how I thought to place it. So then, I've been thinking about my relationship. If I think about my exes, I've had a bunch, not many. I've dated a few women, as if you've been following the series, as I've been sharing, that I've not been an excellent boyfriend. But I would say I'm pretty cordial. I'm pretty cordial with, really, most people I've dated. I'm pretty cordial. I don't think if I run into them, they'll scream and run the other way, or I would. But except maybe one relationship I think about that, I wouldn't stand tall and say we are cordial. And I wouldn't lay blame on that particular person that I dated. It was just, we were in that time of our life where maybe things didn't fit well. But on my part, if I was asked why we wouldn't or we aren't cordial, I would say especially how those people then made me feel. So I felt completely disrespected and I felt I didn't feel good. So while I've forgiven myself for that relationship and even forgiven them, I still remember, I have a bitter taste in my mouth about how they made me feel. So it's indeed true that people remember how you make them feel. So some of the damaging behaviors that come to my mind, so that we move away from unhealthy ways of arguing to healthier ways of arguing. The first one that comes to my mind is name calling. Name calling is a big one. It is a big one. Name calling, and then zeroing in on somebody's insecurities. I mean, you know them. You know that Priscilla has an issue with being overweight. She's shared with you in confidence during happier times. You know that Philip feels some type of way about his bald head and how he's balding. And you know he feels some type of way about his height. He's vertically challenged. He's shared in confidence. All right? Now here you are. He may have delayed with the child's school fees, or may have delayed with the child's insurance policy cover payment. You go to the bedroom in your bid to square off in an argument. Then you start talking about his height. Oh my God, a midget! A midget is talking back at me. A midget. Stop talking, midget. And my mother warned me against you. Short man syndrome. Ah! Jennifer, I mean, surely. He delayed with payment of school fees. You've gone to his height. The most sensitive thing you know to be his insecurity. What does that achieve? I think it's a low blow. It really is a low blow. So that if we are arguing, and also it's very unnecessarily hurtful. Think about it. So what happens when I turn around and pay? Maybe my money are delayed and I pay. Do you think I'm all of a sudden going to forget that you said I'm a midget and your mother warned you against me? Yeah? You are holding your head. Oh my God, what was I thinking? What were you thinking? Shiro, what were you thinking? Shiro, what were you thinking? Oh, and I should have listened to my mom. Oh my goodness, I wish I could swallow these kids. I made it. Because of something so small, like him having delayed with the school fees. It could be even something big. Whatever it is you're arguing about. It could be big and it's really bothering you. But I think it's unnecessarily hurtful. Because people remember. And those heartaches stay with them for a pretty long time. So I would think, in my mind, and today I'm just talking from my heart. I hope it makes sense. I think it's important to lean more towards the issue at hand than personal attacks. I think it's very, very important to do that. If somebody can train themselves, even if you feel like this thing is really about to explode out of your throat, I think it's completely permissible to say, you know what, Andrew, I don't want to argue right now. Could we please postpone this conversation to a later time, maybe in the evening or tomorrow? Because I feel if I spoke now, I'd say something hurtful. And please, Andrew, also permit them to do that. Don't force, oh, we have to talk now, because she might call you short, and then you'll feel very bad. So I think number one in my mind, try focus on the issue instead of personal attacks. I feel in hindsight, if I had known to do that, but I'm not big on arguments. Oh my goodness. If there's one thing I kneel about when I'm praying for my wife and life and future, I pray that I find somebody who is reasonable. I think myself as fairly reasonable, so that we can speak about issues in a way that is decorous. We can completely be on loggerheads and disagree, but not get at each other's necks. The other thing that I like to think about is, and I was having a conversation with a friend of mine once. We had a tiff, and I was telling them that it's best to look at this problem against us. So it's you and I on this side, and then we have this problem we're sorting out. I think when you change your mind and your perspective about how you look at the problem like that, then you would understand that it's you two against the problem and not you against your significant other on the other side. So just that change of perspective goes a long way. Real quick, the other thing to avoid, don't try and quiet your partner's emotion. Shut up! Shut up! That's immature. Just listen. Let them say their piece. Let them vent their piece. You can listen, either respond at the present moment or a later date. Don't quiet somebody's emotion. It is just rude. Don't deny the other person's emotions either. I think psychologists call these subtractive empathy. Whether somebody says something like, you know, Jennifer, we were at the party and I felt some type of way, you know, I've been out of a job for 2 years, and you're just saying the way most men are couch potatoes, and you know, I've really struggled with making these applications. I'm like, shut up, Geoffrey, you are such a wuss. Oh my God, everything is not about you. Shut up. You're overreacting. Don't deny them their emotions. That's what subtractive empathy is about. Just say, I'm totally sorry, my goodness me, I didn't mean to paint you in bad light, but I see why you'd be affected because you've been struggling with this work situation. Don't start telling them, oh, grow up, grow up. So now, what do we do with the way I'm feeling? Don't do it. Own up to it. All right? When you start doing that, you are distorting what they're trying to tell you. Now I'll walk away. Yes, you've won. Yes, you're loud. Yes, you're boisterous. But I'm hurt. So you've won. What about mutual understanding, which is ideally what a relationship, or rather an argument, is supposed to achieve? Something to think about. Don't fake empathize. I don't like that. I've had it in past relationships. You know, I really know how you feel. No, you don't. No, Joachim, you don't know how I feel. And I'd appreciate if you stopped saying you know how I feel. You want to consider when you're telling people that what they might be hearing is, I've heard you talking now, just shut up. I've had enough, shut up. You don't know how I feel. All right? Maybe a more constructive way would be to say, you could say something like, how can I be better for you? How can I be better for you? I figure that I've hurt you. What is it you would want me to do going forward? I think that's more important. Don't start telling people I know how you feel. You don't know. Nobody does. You're not me. I don't remember you being me. All right, Quinta, you're not me. Just relax. Listen to me. Yeah? You must always consider they'll can misconstrue what you're saying to. Okay, I get what you're saying. I don't want to argue. Stop talking now. And you don't want to send that message. Okay? Don't correct the grammar mid-argument. It's childish. What I wanted to know, it went, Andrew, it went. W-E-N-T. Present past participle. I thought to correct it. Now continue. Guy. It's not necessary. Don't tell someone what to do. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. This is what we do. No. Don't tell me. You've hurt and hurt me. I feel hurt. Don't tell me what we are going to do. Don't. You don't tell me what we are going to do. You just owe it to listen to me. You can ask me what you do like me to do. I am in error. I am sorry. How can I be better for you? What do you think? So, on top of my mind, those are some of the things I thought I've erred in or erred in the past. And you can share your thoughts in the comment section if I've forgotten something. But I think if you can empathize and really know that you want to win together and not to win alone. Yes, you are loud, and yes, unaambiaga wanaume na wanajua wewe wekaji watu naweza mpasha mimi. But yes, he's going to walk away feeling really punctured. Yes, you called him short. Yes, you called him a hypocrite. Yes, you called him useless and good for nothing. And yes, you've shot out words. But what about mutuality? What about coming around together? What about that? Good evening.